Good afternoon and welcome to SM Live, back for live stream Friday, show 25. Great to have you with us this afternoon. My name's Chris Stott. Haven't seen you for a while, so glad. Hopefully you're joining us live, and if not, don't forget you can always watch these back on our YouTube channel. So it'd be good to see you subscribing for that. So as I say, my name's Chris Stott. I've got Howard with me as usual. So Howard, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks. Afternoon, everyone. Excited to do this one.
Yeah, it's going to be no doubt a bit rusty, isn't it? We had the whole of October off on live streams, so
well, we always have some sort of glitch, but yeah, this one's going to go seamlessly because we've had such a gap. So yeah, no, I'm comfortable.
Excellent. And we did choose, that was quite, Annette was coordinating that last month, doing the best bits and choosing the favourite live streams so far, so that was quite good to look over those. So check those out if you haven't done so. I think that was posted on LinkedIn, and also the top tips that we did in September. So yeah, again, if you're looking for some top tips from Howard, the 9.5 out of 10, or 9.5 tips with the with
that
the
was only once.
Yeah. And
I think one of them I did 11. So yeah, it wasn't all bad.
yeah.
Made up.
Excellent. And so today we're going to do something a bit different, I think, aren't we? So we've not done a FleetBase overview before. So just to remind everybody, SalesMaster is the platform in the entirety. So we normally focus on STOCKBOOK in the live stream. So we spend a lot of time talking around vehicle searching, reporting, etc. But today we thought we wanted to move into some of the other components of the platform. So FleetBase handles orders, order processing, PDI, fulfillment management, contacts, and all of the things that kind of join together the fleet orders with the stock. So we've done a few of these for dedicated implementations, Howard, haven't we? So
we have. So hopefully it'll be seamless and perfect.
We will see.
Yeah.
And we've got Annette moderating as usual. So Annette is on the YouTube chat. So if you've got any comments for us, please do log them on YouTube. I think you need a Gmail or a Google login to be able to do that, but it only takes a couple of seconds, and then you can send a question through to us, which Annette will then be able to put through, and we can put on the screen and we can answer that question. So just interact with that as you wish. And if you're watching this back and not watching it live, then just do it in the normal YouTube way as a comment on the video. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're having another push on subscribers now. So we hit a milestone, quite a while ago now. I think we're close to our next one. So we're looking to get to 200 subscribers. I think we need about, how many is it? I think 15 or something like that, I think, to get to that. So we should be able to do that today, surely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
I think it's a few more than 15. But yeah.
25.
You're on the right lines.
Okay.
There you go. But next milestone for sure, and this one will really help, and obviously the more that we do with the SalesMaster and some of these applications inside that as well, hopefully this will be the driving force.
Absolutely. Okie doke. Right, well then, without further ado, Howard, do you want to get your screen set up, and then we can switch over and do some screen sharing and dive into FleetBase. As I say, if you haven't seen some of this content on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see a number of different videos on there from previous live streams. So, and Annette has gone through and actually time stamped a lot of them, so you can just jump through to the feature that you're interested about. So make sure you check those out when you subscribe. Okay, we've managed to remember how to press all the buttons, and we can see your screen. So over to you, mate. Go for it.
Excellent, brilliant. So for this session, I'm going to log into a different environment to usual. As you mentioned, normally we use the live streams to look at StockBook. Today we're going to look at FleetBase. So as soon as I sign into the system, just like I do, when I'm using StockBook as well. As mentioned in previous kind of StockBook videos and live streams and demonstrations, it takes us straight into the StockBook application. But what you'll notice now on the left-hand side is normally just vehicles and reports, but now we've got obviously the contacts in there, and then underneath vehicles we've got orders as well. And of course, the help button that's there for the guided tours as well is still available. So we're going to spend a bit of time on that. But what we're going to do first is we're going to take a vehicle that we have existing or available in our STOCKBOOK account. So we're using a vehicle that already exists within the account. And later on, I'll be showing how you do that from a vehicle that is a factory order as opposed to something that you've got in stock. But the system, because STOCKBOOK kind of underpins, whether it be FleetBase as we're looking at today, it always drives from that source as well. So it always kind of prompts you to say, before you do a factory order or before you build a vehicle in SalesMaster, do you have one on the ground? So that's where we're going to start. So we're going to search for a vehicle. So we're not going to spend much time in STOCKBOOK. So I'm just going to simply look for a Mercedes, maybe an E-Class, and then into a certain colour. So I'm just going to drill down. I'm going to minus the sold. So I'm just going to look for an available vehicle. So you can see here I've got a number of blue Mercedes available for me now. I've got a few under negotiation. One of them is an archive status, so can't do anything with these vehicles, so I'm just going to pick on one that I can. So I'm just going to grab that E-Class Coupe there, and you can see once I click into the vehicle, I've now got the ability, because I've got orders switched on, which is FleetBase, you can see I've got the ability to create a new quote. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to select new quote, and what will happen when I do that, it will actually jump me down from vehicles into orders. So it's taking me straight into the order processing side of the vehicle there. So you can see that, and now I can start to build my order. So just again, I'm going to just open up the full view so everybody can see that, and we're going to just start on the left hand side. So we're just going to walk through some of the individual kind of buttons and drop downs that we have available here. Again, this is all configured from the account, so this what's in the ordering site and the delivery site and the sales type are configured from an implementation perspective. So depending on what your requirements are, so whether it be a manufacturer's requirements or of course a dealer group, the sales types can be selected as you require. So you can see if I select on them, I've got a drop down, and I've just got some standard industry headers. So I've got fleet, RFO, agency, direct, and retail. So simply be able to choose from any one of those sales types. And interestingly, any of these bits that we're doing when we're starting to create these orders are searchable in the back screen. So we're going to look at that later. Once we've created this order, we will then go and have a look at all the orders that have been created into this account. And you can use all of these sales types to be able to search within it as well. So I'll just leave mine as fleet. You can see the ordering site and delivery site are the same. That's because they are looking at me as the user. So I'm creating an order on a Mercedes in this case, but I actually exist, or my user account is within a East Calvin, I think it's a Suzuki site. But you can see if I select on that drop down, I can choose any one of the available in the list as well. So that could be across your full dealer group.
And this is, I think you mentioned it already, but this is a really good way of tracking orders. It's all about the reporting and how you want to then kind of see that, but tracking the orders through central order site. So this could be like a fleet hub that's taking all of the orders in one place. Yeah. And then the delivery site would be more regional, and probably the dealership or the location that's going to be processing the order. And the PDI site, again, could be another off-site facility where they're then managing the process of that to fulfill logistics. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've just changed them now. So the ordering site is the FleetBase 001 site. So absolutely, as you say, Chris, a centralised fleet, managing the fleet orders within a central location, just like that. So it can be configured as required, really, and then everything that's available. And if it was a PDI, an off-site PDI, then they would just be added into the drop down as well. And it's searchable, so if you're looking for, so I just start to type in, you can see that you can find them very quickly. So we allow that kind of search. So if you've got multiple sites and multiple PDI centers, rather than dragging yourself through a long list, you can just use the search function to find that as well. So yeah, really, really quick and easy. Account exec, again, it's only going to be listed as myself. That's all I've got available actually in this account. It's just me, but it automatically assigns you as the user of who started to build this order. Instantly, automatically will add me as the account exec and as the salesperson. But again, anyone that's part of that, you might be building an order for an individual that sold the order or the set of vehicles. So you might want to change that there as well. But I can't do that because I've only got me in there. But again, you've got the search function in there, so you can be able to find them, which makes it really quite unique because same with an administrator as well. So being able to add an administrator to that, you can then start to create workflows just like we do in STOCKBOOK. But these could be an administrator that could be responsible for these orders. They would just need to just type their name in and build a report that automatically updates as more and more orders come into them. So yeah, really, really quite useful in that sense. Then you've got quotation reference. That tends to be absolutely as it is. So whether it be a leasing co or a funder reference, that can to put in there as well. And again, these become searchable as well. So on the back page that we'll look at shortly, anything that I put in there, I can also search within as well. And you can see we've got another couple of options. So order reference 1 and order reference 2 again are both searchable within that. So you might want to put something unique in there to do with this order. So you can complete them as you require. Let's just put something in there that we'd be able to search in the front page. So we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and simple. Like so. So yeah, lots of availability to be able to add different reference numbers against this order as well, and again all searchable. Before at this stage, we're just at a quotation stage, so we're not doing anything else. But if I wanted to move that, so a quotation was agreed, and I wanted to move it to the next stage, which we'll do. There's a number of headers that the system will require before you can start to move that on. And if I click on it now, you'll see I can't move it on because I don't have a customer. So there's no customer allocated to this, so I can't move that on. There's no delivery date assigned to that, and the RFL is missing as well. So it's always asking for these three to make sure they're complete before it can push on as well. So just quite a useful feature. So then I can just add in a required delivery date. So I've got this vehicle in stock. It's sitting at the storage centre, so I'm just going to go for the end of the month. Give us a couple of weeks to do that. So very straightforward once I've completed that. Now the middle section here is about the vehicle. Obviously that is already built and it wasn't existing in my stock, so I can't do much change in there, and I wouldn't want to necessarily do any change in there, so I'll leave that absolutely as it is.
And that's pulled through automatically from the stock record in STOCKBOOK, essentially all of those vehicle attributes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's all assigned already. The vehicle's built. It's slightly different when we go to build our own factory order, which we'll have a look at shortly. So the first thing I need to do really is assign a customer. As I mentioned, that's one of the critical mandatory fields that I need to complete before I can move this on to the next stage. So I can simply do that by selecting customer like that. Open up a full search box for me, and then I can just go and search for the company potentially. So I'm just going to add this as a company. We see this when this is used a lot with throughout the dealer groups. We see this used for normally finding the lease co that this order is going to be supplied through. But for this stage, we're just going to go for SalesMaster. Now, this is really quite a unique area of FleetBase. So once you apply a customer to this specific order, it does a number of things. It will open up and it will show you another 4 endpoints that you can select within that. So at the minute we've got end user. we tend to use that as the broker. The delivered to, so that would probably be the end consumer or the end customer. And then the send invoice to and register with, which would actually stay at this stage as the customer. So as I mentioned, if it was the leasing company, then obviously the invoice and register with would go that way as well. But you can choose how they're set up for yourself. But also,
as you say, I think, Howard, because the SalesMaster, the platform, is designed to be configured in many ways for different use cases. Those sort of 5 core customer or linked contacts on an order can be driven through business process to determine what you want to capture. So it's just a way of linking 5 different contacts to that single order, which is then linked to that single vehicle. But yeah, as you've described, Howard, I think that's the most typical use case. But we have got other scenarios where it's used for internal orders processing, OEM solutions, different where you can make drive those business rules.
Yeah, or local business, absolutely. Yeah. So we see it used, but from a reporting side, kind of standardising it in the best possible approach for your process is, makes it really unique in the way it works. But obviously design doing the job. So yeah, hopefully we covered most bases on that. The other thing that will happen when you do that, so it opens up the endpoint, allocates the customer to it now, but it actually, if you notice under the vehicle here on the left-hand side, it's actually put the vehicle under negotiation in STOCKBOOK as well. Because it was a vehicle that existed and may have visibility across a sales team, it's locked that vehicle and put it under negotiation, which is great. So it's given me the opportunity to complete my quotation, and it's also put that vehicle on hold for me for that period of time that's defined as well. So that's
good.
Useful piece. So just obviously anything that's grayed out, I can't touch or can't change within this, but also just have a look at the options that are available on there. We do have some category of options now as well, just because of some of the manufacturers that work within FleetBase, so paint, trim, FOC options and so forth. But you can see that's all captured there. And because this vehicle is already pre-built, obviously those won't change. I can't change them or do much with them. Adjustments, just adding any discount to that as well. So I'll just put discount in. Now I can do that as a percentage on this. So I could just say 4%, and it would write back the value for me straight away. But you can actually do that as a value as well. So if I wanted to, I can just throw a value in there. I've just realised my screen is just down here, so I might have to just scroll up. But what you can also do, just on adjustments, if you look down the bottom here, you've got the balance due. If you go straight down to that and hover over the top of it or highlight over the top of it, and you wanted to get to a certain value, so let's just say this is 54,500. When I select that, you'll notice that it jump up with a box to say, actually, what you've done there, you're applying a discount of £97.05. If I say OK, it will add that write-back adjustment and that discount into the adjustment column for me. So I see that one obviously used a lot as well.
Strips the VAT out and puts it in as a discount line. But I mean, those multiple line adjustments are really handy when you're tracking tactical support, other kind of campaigns that are on vehicles that are linked to certain customers or certain vehicles, etc. But and the different end user terms and things. So it's used in many different ways. So it can just be as simple as Howard said, a simple percentage or a cash value, or you can have more complex rules around that. But using the write back adjustment, it takes seconds to get to sort of match the purchase order of something coming in, say from an electronic order that comes in from a leasing company. It's just super quick to do.
Yeah, we're stepping for it nice and slowly, but these can be super quick to build as well from that. Then down to dealer options, so adding any options. Again, you can see on the drop down I've added some in, so these are just kind of like test ones, but these are the kind of things that we come across: detachable tow bar, driver packs and so on, or leasing company packs that can all be added into there for you. So you can select ones that you've already loaded, or you can select not in list and set of mats or something like that I just wanted to put in there for me for myself, and then I could just add the price of those of what I want to charge them out at. So I can just add them in. Now what you'll notice is when I click on the value, you'll see it comes up with this 1 and 2 that's displayed here, and this is pushing this can be pushed out into a supplementary invoice. So at the minute, if I open up customer, you can see the customer is SalesMaster in this case. They would be paying the £75, but I can also push that out and push that like so, and it will go to a secondary invoice like so, and then if I had changed the deliver to potentially, so the end customer was going to pick up the bill for these mats, I can then just select that in this little icon here. So you just select on that and it'll push the invoice to the different place. At this stage it's just under the same as the customer, but if we had added something else in there, an end customer, you would see that on their supplementary invoice, and you can just keep going with that. It just will keep going for you as far as you wanted to go. So we know it's not always just that one individual.
Especially with things like either an EV charger or something like that. If it was something that the customer's paying for directly, or again, it could be part of a promotion, a tactical campaign or something. It just gives you that flex to be able to build the order to reflect the real world, how you're supplying that vehicle. So that's good. And there you go. So then we've got the VAT. Obviously the RFL was something that we needed to have in there before we can push forward with this order. So I'm just going to drop that in. I did see that on the options actually, Howard, that you previewed in the panel, and that was quite an expensive option.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I did notice that. I chose a big car here.
Yeah, I thought so.
But then I looked at the CO2 and I was like, wow. And then I added the first reg fee, which I was doing in my head actually as we were talking.
Got you.
But there you go. There's the value.
And
then absolutely. And then you've got part exchanges as well, but with part exchanges we tend to see that go down to return car actually. So adding a return car like so, you can there you go, I've got to think of my reg number now. You can add in that return car and just select that and apply that to the order as well. So
that can be done at any stage, can't it? So it could be done at that order, or you could capture it later on, but it makes it easier for recording the vehicle at any stage.
It just makes it easier to have that as a recording that, because when you maybe go to print off the delivery instructions, that return car information would be on there, so they would know that they're picking up a car or swapping over a car at the same time. So quite a useful piece as well. And then deposits. So any deposits, whether it be the customer, the manufacturer, the dealer, or anything other, can be applied in this area as well. Now, because we, obviously dealing with some reasonable sized fleet businesses, through what we do with FleetBase, we do have the ability to duplicate quotations as well. So if this, it's quite a pricey car, but I'm not sure how many we're going to do, but you can actually select to duplicate that as well. So you can duplicate that, but you can duplicate that as many times as you want. So you can select that you want to duplicate it multiple times. So if you're doing a bit of a bulk deal on some vehicles, you can do that within SalesMaster as well. Like so. Okay, now we can move the vehicle to awaiting processing. So I can do that, and it will simply just give me a kind of heads up. Are you sure you want to move this? Because as soon as I move that vehicle to awaiting processing, it will actually mark the vehicle as sold in StockBook. Sorry. So that vehicle was under negotiation, as I mentioned, when we started to build the quote. As soon as I've marked the vehicle awaiting processing, it's actually marked the vehicle as sold. So nobody else can sell the vehicle. So that will potentially stay awaiting processing until somebody then takes it to the next stage. So you can see here, it's another mandatory field that's saying actually you need an order number in there now. You need a COM number. So once the vehicle has been processed, that can then be added in as well. So you can see here, adding the order number, like so. Now, we do have some other fields. I'm obviously just conscious of time with this here, so I won't go too much into this because I'd rather spend some more time on the front page on doing the reports. But anything you'd expect with within a fleet order is all assigned and available in the application as well. So you can see as I jump into the admin page, I've got all the ordering, so the factory order dates, the contract end dates, the forecast of when that's expected to drop in, stock management, a really important kind of delivery side of who's delivering the vehicle, all of these bits that you can create to be able to build reports on the front page as well. From that, so you can see lots in there. We can tailor them down a little bit on each implementation and each configuration, but you can see this one's just a demo environment, so I have everything available there. So it looks like quite a busy one, but we do cut them down into sections. As you can
I was going to say they're kind of grouped by the certain, and they're often filled in the relevant sort of part of the workflow, aren't they? As the vehicle hits a certain status, it then appears, which I know you'll show in a sec, in terms of the list view management, but it then drives the activity for each of these different grouped fields. And of course you've got the bulk updater as well, which I know you'll probably mention on the list view, so you don't necessarily have to update all of them individually. It can be done in one sort of bulk process. So
It can, and we keep adding more and more to that bulk. And again, absolutely, Chris. I'll show you that in shortly. So I'm just gonna move on through these quickly, but I think we'll probably come back to these on another session.
Yeah, definitely.
Another live stream, because we've got things like the summary page to the tactical back end bonus, front end bonus, everything that's captured in there, whether there's commission involved, deposits, onward delivery. So just a really quick snapshot of that, but capturing all of that kind of VPC within that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Contract hire, so simply building a contract hire quote in there as well. So once that's complete, you're able to print that off. Any attachments, so orders or confirmation emails that you want to drop in, you can drop them in straight into here, so then you've got access to be able to view that. We do accounts on SalesMaster as well, so on the front page you'd be able to see if everything has been applied that you're waiting for as far as an attachment and an agreement. Activity, again, much like STOCKBOOK, just being able to see who did what and when, and any changes that were made on the order. You can see, it was just myself that's created everything so far, but if somebody else changed something and moved my order on, I would see that in the activity of who did that and when they did that as well. So that's really useful. Comments box, again, just to being able to add comments and any instructions on there as well. So if I add a comment here, I can do that, and I can just add that. Now at this stage I've just added this into general, but if I show you the drop downs here, you can see you've got the PDI. So if I wanted to send a note maybe to for the prep instructions, I can do that. Again, as I mentioned about the delivery, if I wanted to say about the return car, or I wanted to give a bit of information, some further information, maybe deliver the vehicle with a half a tank of fuel, I might be able to I can capture that, and I could add that into the delivery, and then that would come off on the workshop instruction, on the delivery instruction. And you can see other bits there, other headers there that you may want to add some notes and comments to as well. And then the final one is print. So obviously taking everything off of there as well, from a quotation to an order form, as I mentioned, the workshop instructions, the delivery instructions. We even have a file header as well, which prints off really quite cleanly, just to be able to capture all the information required and print that off for a file.
These are mainly PDF exports though, right? So it's just a way of getting the information out in a consistent way to then be able to send on to someone outside of SalesMaster. But you still see the files though. You're right. Yeah, so it's good to be able to generate that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's one we built some years ago, but yeah, it's still relevant. Okay, so if I wanted to, so I'm now just going to come out into orders, and what you'll notice is when I click on orders, if I may log into the system and start immediately there. What we did is we obviously went into vehicles and we took an order, or we took a vehicle and we started to build an order on it. But obviously, if you're working within Fleet and within the corporate team, you'll be spending most of your time in orders in here. So this is very similar to vehicles in the way that it's laid out. So you can see I've got headers running across the top, the sales type, the order status, the salesperson, order number all the way across the top. Of course, just like in STOCKBOOK, I can choose the headers that I have in my screen. It is slightly busier than STOCKBOOK, of course, because of all of those headers that we quickly snapped over the top of within the order. So if I open up column chooser here, you'll see lots of different headers in there as well. And I just obviously will use the search function to be able to pick them up just on my PC, on my laptop, just to be able to find any of the information that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to grab a couple of bits of information. So I've grabbed the delivery date, I've grabbed the create. I may even want to bring in I know it was me, but I'm going to bring in the sales person. The salesperson's already in it. That's useful. Okay, so then I've then just redrawn the page with the bits of information. So when it was created, what's the delivery date kind of scheduled for, and I can see that now in my view. I'm just going to close that actually because that's making it a bit busy. I'm going to take out reg number because I don't really need to see that because I haven't got one applied at this stage. But you can see I've redrawn the page now. Again, I've got the ability to download that list of stock. So in this case, email that list of stock to myself if I wanted to, or a list of orders, sorry. But I've also got Search Builder as well. And Search Builder working exactly the same way as it does in stock, in vehicles. I can actually say, just show me everything that has a delivery date potentially. And then I can say a date range, or I could say, actually, just show me everything that's got a delivery date that's due out to go this month. And there we go. Now at this stage, I'm just looking at all orders statuses. So anything that's at quotation or waiting processing or ordered. But what I can do is I can then go back into Search Builder and actually choose. Well, I'm just going to look for order status, that is either ordered or awaiting processing, like so. And then I just apply that. So it's showing me all of the 12 orders that have moved from quotation to confirmation, really. So you can see that. Again, I can save that. So I can say orders this month. And of course, that fully dynamic. And we'll continue to update it as we move months as well. So as we go into December, that information will just look for that particular month that we're in. So I can just refresh that. What I can do with this information as well, so I can see who the salesperson was. Obviously, I've only got 12 orders in here, so it's not huge with this delivery date. But if I go back into Search Builder, I can use the grouping of results as well. So I could group by the salesperson potentially, and it just takes it down into the pivot table to see who's done the most orders this month. Well done, Simon. Like so any orders that are going out, and then just building reports on top of that information as well. Within that, you can even do that by brands as well, so you can capture that information. So that's showing me all of the orders that we've got that is due to go out this month as well. So you can build. This is where you kind of start to build your workflows on that information as well.
Yeah, it's really powerful to be able to sort of tailor those for your reporting requirements or the workflow, as we said. So if you're just responsible for moving and approving orders, then you would just see the orders that need that awaiting order processing. If you're managing deliveries, then you'd have a look at the ones that are only when they hit a certain status and so on. So, but I think, like you said, on taking us through the other tabs, it's probably going to be a dedicated session just on the reporting and the different views you can build in FleetBase, because there's quite a few.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just I really enjoy working with FleetBase. I really enjoy working with the customers on FleetBase, and I think they get a huge amount of benefit out of the system. Keeping everything in one place, especially when you're working from a central site and you need to see everything across a large group or a number of sites, then everything's in one place. So you can either have access to everything, or you just have access to your own orders, and we can configure it absolutely as required for the business.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think it's it's been a great overview, Howard, in terms of the familiarity of the UI components. Anyone that's used SalesMaster from a stock perspective will instantly know how to use it. In terms certainly navigating this list view of orders. Obviously, there's a bit more to it in terms of each order because there's a lot more data going in that you're capturing about that, rather than just reading the information of a vehicle stock record. So, But yeah.
Whereas I've just looked for just the last bit on this. I've just had a look for where I'm the administrator, so this is my kind of workflow. We did mention about being able to bulk update any of the headers. I'd probably want to do that. Yeah, as an administrator. If I just to select those 5, you can see I've just got this little tab, little button on the right hand side, and here's all the fields that I can update in one go. So, if they've all got now the same delivery date, if they've all got the same costs within that, if they're all associated to the same salesperson, you can just do them all in one bulk. And you can also do that on the reference numbers as well. So you can see order reference there and order reference too. So if I wanted to bulk update reference numbers in there, I can do that on there as well.
Yeah, as you say, it's just really quick for handling multiple, bulk orders, which is a lot of the use case for FleetBase is about moving orders through in big. So if you have that list view, search criteria, vehicles all arrive at a certain status, then you want to go and grab one of these fields and set them all to a certain status. You can do it all in one go without having to go in and out of every order. So huge time saver. Yeah,
really good.
Excellent.
Cool.
Okay, so we've probably about done for the overview on that then, Howard, are we?
Yeah, I think so. I could go on for quite a while, so I'll consciously not do that. I have to keep looking at the clock on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's been brilliant. Thanks for that. And we've just cut back to the main cameras now and wrap things up. So as you can see, lots to FleetBase, lots that we can capture in the system, lots that you can then report on in the system, and lots of different use cases. As we mentioned, we've got it in use within dealer groups, within OEMs and manufacturers, and sort of specialist functions in order to track those different orders through their order cycle. Lots we can help with in this area. It's quite I suppose it's a high level of expertise within SalesMaster, because most of the platform actually originated from a fleet background. So it was about managing fleet orders and stock volumes. So obviously that's why it's all together in there. So. Good stuff. Well, as we said at the start, thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Annette will ask me to pop these prompts up, I'm sure. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on YouTube. We are going to do a few more of the live streams again now. So let us know what subjects you'd like us to cover. Obviously, we'll run through a bit more of the FleetBase content, and there'll be some more exciting bits on StockBook integrations coming up, I'm sure. But I think that's all for now. So thank you, Howard. Have a great weekend.
No problem. Thank you very much. I will.
And we look forward to seeing you all on the next one. So take care, have a good one, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks very much. Bye for now.